First of all, hello and welcome everybody to the first ever pilot edition of Meyer on the Move.
This is the first ever.
You're the pilot episode,
Wow,
man.
it's a pilot episode.
That's it. We went big.
Hardcore, man.
I appreciate.
I love to be the pilot.
and I appreciate you being the first. You know, we're gonna have to get you back on once we work out all the.
First is definitely not the worst.
Definitely not. So our special guest today needs no introduction, but it is Mr. Mayor Suarez of the city of Miami.
Ooh,
that's a loud
yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
All
That's
right.
what happens when you have progress construction.
So we are just rolling out of City Hall in Coconut Grove, just a few minutes from the Compass office, which is right next to the Monty's on the Bay.
Very nice.
And we're a city founded by a woman, right?
We are.
And we recently had some exciting news. Where what could you tell us?
We do. We have our first woman chairman in the history of Miami.
Nice.
Our first African-American woman chairman, Christine King, and that's a really exciting news. She's going to start in January chairing our commission in the new year. And it's just it's just another watershed moment for our city. I think it really shows that we're a diverse city, that we're a forward thinking city, and that we're a city that really wants to empower not only minorities, but also women.
I love it. So Miami's been in the news a lot lately. I think, Florida and Texas, obviously for tax purposes, for political reasons, for our beautiful climate. People have been flocking here since the beginning of the pandemic. I know that you have been busy trying to bring crypto companies and tech companies to Miami. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How many companies are coming here? Do you see any? Do you see, what do we have coming down the pipe? Any big names that are moving here?
Well, we've got some major names that are moving here that I think are going to move here. I think, I hope that Citadel decides to move here. I think we have a great chance of getting
no pressure, Citadel.
No pressure. I think we got a great shot with Goldman Sachs, increasing their presence here significantly. But listen, what we've done is amazing. We're number one in the nation for tech job growth, number one in the nation for tech job migration. We were ranked the highest, the happiest city in America, the healthiest city in America, and the number one in pandemic recovery. So I think that bodes well, Jorge. That bodes well for our city, that we want to make the best city on the planet. And AC still is here, man.
Awesome.
That's good
AC
stuff,
is still
man.
Get us an icy.
I like that.
Tell me about tech initiatives. What are we doing to lure tech companies? How are we incentivizing companies to come down here and bring their employees and build businesses here?
Well, as I said, we've been super successful, and part of it is obviously our tax climate. Part of it is our weather. Part of it is having a critical mass where tech companies now know that we're going to become the epicenter of capital, the capital of capital. We're in the middle of 5 mega markets, right? We're in the middle of South America, New York, Silicon Valley, Europe, and the Middle East. And so there's no one mega market that's any closer to all 5 than we are. And so I think that creates a geoposition that allows us to sort of graduate from just being known as the capital of Latin America to being what I call the capital of capital.
No, he's too late to grab an icy.
There we go. You see?
What? Is it too late to grab an icy?
It's all shut down.
Yeah,
all shut down.
But look, he's got his Miami hat on, branded hat.
We were all together just recently at the menorah lighting.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
So when was your first AC's Icy?
Well, he's been open since 1978. I was 1, and the first time I came that I remember, my dad was mayor. I was probably even younger than that. 8 years old, 6 years old.
Oh, younger.
Maybe even younger. And this guy's like a fuss.
So you've been serving him IC since he's this big. So it's safe to say you eat AC's ICs. You grew up to be the mayor.
What's actually better than that is that he now does it for my son. That's what I think is better.
What?
Well, get to it. I know you gotta go.
Get to it.
Love you, buddy.
Okay. Sorry we missed it.
That's okay.
It's his fault.
We missed our window. But we'll come back on Saturday with the kids. I'll text you. You got it.
So speaking of Compass,
yeah.
Compass has on the low side, the number we safely say, we have a 40% real estate market share in California.
Nice.
That's throughout the state. And if you get into micro markets like San Francisco, that
Incredible.
number goes significantly up. So I like to look at that and say, if 10 people are moving from California, there's a 4 in 10 chance that they are coming here via a referral from their California real estate agent at Compass.
Very cool.
A large part of our audience is going to be other agents. We have 25,000 agents at Compass around the country.
Amazing.
From New York to Miami, Atlanta, Nashville, Dallas, Aspen, and so on. We're in Jackson Hole now. We're in North Carolina.
Jackson Hole's beautiful.
Jackson Hole's amazing. We're hoping to do a retreat in Jackson Hole at some point soon.
Very nice.
So
Bring it to Miami.
Speaking. Oh, so we're on that. Believe me. We actually the last Compass retreat with 2,500 people was right here in Miami.
Amazing.
And there's no question they're coming back. That's just it's standard operating procedure. So speaking to the Compass audience for a moment, those agents in California to New York, what message would you like to deliver to them about their clients that might be considering moving here, considering a second home here, considering their businesses here?
Well, what I would tell them is to reach out. We consider ourselves to be a concierge government. And I know sometimes that sounds like an oxymoron, but what we want to make sure is that people have an opportunity to feel welcome. We know that there's a mass migration going on, and that people are moving here in droves from states like California and New York, and we want to make that transition smooth, easy. We want them to know who we are, and we want them to know that government's here to either facilitate or to get out of the way.
All right. I know that as a real estate agent, I've found that people moving to Florida tend to have some drawbacks. Some of the things that hot topics, let's call them. Sea level rise is one of them. What is the city of Miami, Miami-Dade County? What are we doing? Should people be worried about it? Are we taking initiative to curb that? What's going on there?
We totally are. We're not a place that has in any way put their head in the sand pretending like some of the climatic events that we deal with don't exist. First of all, most people don't know that we're a very resilient city already. Miami has suffered less hurricane damage in the last 10 years than New York City. People don't realize that. And so I think we're a very wind-resistant city. And now I think our new challenge is to be the most water resilient city on the planet. So we've voted to tax ourselves, very unusual for the city of Miami. It's actually extended a tax that had already existed, almost like refinancing a mortgage. And we got $400 million of resources, $200 million of which are dedicated to resiliency efforts. So we're layering $200 million, and we're hoping to match that with state and federal funding from the infrastructure bill to be able to make Miami the most water resilient city on the planet.
So I'll add to that what I show a lot of my clients, if you go inside the Compass app and you click on the map feature, you can click a button called layers, and when you hit layers, it will layer for you right on top of the map. It'll cover in blue anything that is considered a flood zone, which in our case really just has to do with like the 100-year projection.
Sure.
Something most people don't know about Coconut Grove, city of Miami, for the most part, is that we are very high above. I mean, where we're sitting right now, we're about 1 block from the bay, but we're almost 17 feet above sea level. And you'll see there's no blue on the map in city of Miami, in Coral Gables, just a couple of areas that are close to the bay or maybe along the water side. But for the most part, one of the great things about city of Miami, in contrast maybe to Miami Beach, which almost all of it is within a flood zone, is that we're well up on the ridge and very water resilient as a city.
Right, and they call that being, like you said, above the ridge. The ridge is about 20 feet, give or take. And like you said, most of the city is above the ridge. A little part of it is below the ridge. And we want to keep those below the ridge areas dry. And so that's the purpose of the $200 million that we're spending in pumps and to get the water out and put it in a healthy way back in the bay. And we're going to continue to execute on that, what we call Miami Forever Bond, which is our brand, which is we want to have a Miami that's here forever.
So let's lighten up the mood a little bit. We always like to ask people something on this show that maybe nobody knows about you or that you're saying here for the first time. Can you give us any juice?
Wow.
Something nobody knows. Or that may not be common knowledge, let's just
Maybe
say.
that's not common knowledge. Maybe that I am the oldest of 4 and that I have no brothers. I have only 3 sisters. That could be, that's not like common knowledge.
Which I think, so what do you see as the future? Let's talk about real estate. What's the future of Miami real estate? People are saying Miami's getting expensive.
Yeah.
It's being ranked as the least affordable, which I always correct people to make sure they understand that least affordable does not mean most expensive. And that,
Yeah, look, I think right now we're having a temporary rush, and I don't think the rush is temporary. I think what's temporary is the sort of demand and supply equilibrium, because I think it happened in part after my tweet a year ago of how can I help, and that.
Love the how can I help t-shirt.
Thanks, man.
I might have to get one for myself.
And so it was probably an unanticipated rush, right? And so I think, but we're very good at developing. We're very good at building. We have a huge development envelope, which is 10 times greater than what we have in terms of already built, right? So the difference between capacity to build and actual build is a 10-to-1 multiple. So that means we have plenty of growth, and we're very efficient at growing, and we do it well. So I have absolutely no concerns about us meeting future supply and our ability to continue to grow in a way that keeps prices relatively low in comparison to other major cities like New York and San Francisco that are completely growth constrained.
I heard a statistic. I'm still verifying this, and so do not take this as fact, but I heard that in New York City right now, there's $5 billion of new development, which is, it's not a big number when you really think about the scale of New York City, but New York City has a lot of development. So correct me if I'm wrong, viewers, but that's the fact and statistic that I heard from a consultant, a developer consultant. And then in contrast, I was told that the state of Florida, and I'm not sure again if it's the entire state or South Florida, has something like $180 billion. Do you know if there's any fact to that?
Look, it's not surprising.
I mean, I know that Miami World Center alone is close to $5 billion
Miami
development.
World Center is just one development. It's a $5 billion development. So, I mean, that's one neighborhood in our city.
Yeah, and we have a World Center, we have Edgewater, we have buildings going up in South Beach.
Absolutely.
Fort Lauderdale, you go up to Pompano is being developed, Delray,
Miami's
Palm
going
Beach.
up fast, and the region is going up fast. And what's exciting about it is that we are populating in part with high-paying jobs, so that our residents have an opportunity to be successful in the future. And that's what makes it enjoyable for me to redefine who we are and give more people better opportunities.
All right, we're rolling up pretty close. We're just passing Peacock Park. City of Miami has an enormous amount of park. There's soccer going on. We have right behind us is Glass and Vine, which is an outdoor restaurant.
Great restaurant,
on the
by the way. I
park.
had lunch there the other day. It was phenomenal.
Amazing. If you're like, we love to take the kids there. We reserve a table right next to the playground. So
Right,
the kids
so
are in
you
the
can do what they
playground.
want,
We're relaxing, having drinks. The kids run
Great
back and
chocolate
forth.
cake the other day.
It's the
Unbelievable.
best. It's unreal. And it's right here next to the Coconut Grove Sailing
Right.
Club. It's on the bay and the harbor, and a walking distance to basically everything in Coconut Grove and City Hall itself. So great location. To lighten things up, and I guess to wrap it up, people ask me if we're going to be doing a golf cart style, carpool karaoke. Are we going to be singing karaoke with the mayor? I said, you never know, but if you don't ask, you don't get. Are we hanging here? Or
No,
the next turn?
straight.
All right. I always ask, what's your favorite karaoke song?
I have a lot of favorite songs, but like in terms of carpool karaoke, Masterpiece, what is it? So it was, I think it was a Bruno Mars song.
It's a Bruno Mars song. Let's see if we can
yeah.
get it. We go. This one's for them hood girls, straight masterpiece. Silent, body, living up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm too pretty, too hot.
Hot damn.
Got the police and the fireman. Too hot.
Hot damn.
Hot damn. Love
There you
it.
go.
There
Pretty
you go.
good. You definitely you had me on key.
We are rolling.
And you had me
You're
on.
a good backup. You're a good backup.
Way back.
I'm not
way
fun
back.
to sing karaoke with because I actually do have a pretty good voice.
No, you actually do, and you know the lyrics, which is the most important part.
Well,
Because that was kind of embarrassing.
No, don't worry. But we'll figure that. We're rolling up to the city. Actually, where we were just the other night, lighting the Hanukkah menorah.
Yep.
Right next to the big Christmas tree. We are again a very inclusive city here. I know that your time is very, very important.
You got it.
And so we are going to drop you back off to get back to your meetings, and your wife, who was waiting for what appeared to be like a rooftop, maybe dinner on the sunset on the marina.
Beautiful. Listen, it couldn't be a better date, not a cloud in the sky. Take care,
really,
guys.
really appreciate your time. Thank you for this, and we'll see you on the streets.
You got it.